Welcome to the Magical Moms Podcast Show. Today, we are going to be continuing with our current series, Tips and Tricks for Navigating Lines at Disneyland Like a Pro. And for the last couple of weeks, you've heard all of our insider tips, but this week you're going to meet and hear even more tricks from our friend and special guest, Kellie Krueger, aka We Don't Wear Ears. We can't wait to chat with her. It's going to be so fun to hear her perspective and learn more about her journey to becoming a content creator in the parks. But first, before we bring in Kellie, we have to remind you that
to follow us on all the socials. Make sure you're staying up to date with us. We are the Magical Moms Podcast, or at Magical Moms Podcast on Instagram, Threads, TikTok. We're also over on YouTube at youtube.com/Disney content, where you can watch full episodes, which is fun too, because we often share things that you might want to see. So make sure to follow us on those channels. And also you can follow me. I'm Lindsay at Chasing Magic Daily on all the socials.
And I'm Bridget at California Disney Plus, also on all the socials. So let's not waste any more time. Let's bring in Kellie Krueger, aka We Don't Wear Ears. Come on in, Kellie. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, Kellie.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Kellie.
We are so excited to have you.
Mm-hmm. We're so excited.
So Kellie, why don't you start? We're going to start off this episode so people can get to know you and who you are. So tell us about yourself and why you started your social media channels.
Okay, that's a long story. I'll make it short though. It's a long story because I've been a pass holder at Disneyland for over 20 years. The first year I bought an annual pass, it cost $122. So it's been a minute. Because I did what every broke college kid in the world did, and you asked mom and dad for a Disneyland pass for Christmas. And that was just like the best gift in the world, because then we all just, packed our little sandwiches and mac and cheese and went to Disneyland every week. And that carried on to when I married my husband, Andy. We still were broke newlyweds who asked my parents for Disneyland passes every year, and then it was a cheap date night, which then carried on to when I had my son Uriah, and just, okay, this is great. We can go with a toddler, and we just always had the passes. And so what we found was, living locally close to the parks, we had a lot of friends and neighbors and coworkers and things that also were local to Disneyland and had passes and were visiting all the time. And so I would find myself posting things on social media all the time for my friends, like, hey, did you see this cool new thing at Disneyland, or this yummy tree, or this thing is free, or here's this or that, or just a cute photo of my kid, or whatever it may be. And two things are happening at the same time. I was doing a lot of that and started to feel like it almost felt a little bit obnoxious, like on my personal social media. Like if somebody from high school looks me up, like all they see is pictures of my kid at Disneyland, I don't know that I love that. And then at the same time, I had a few friends that were encouraging me, like, hey, you should do this. You should start an account. That would be fun. Like, we like when you post that kind of stuff. And so coming out of COVID, we took our very first trip to Walt Disney World. I planned the heck out of it because, of course, I did. And when I got home the following week, a girlfriend of mine called and said, your trip looks so fun. I want to go. We just booked a trip for next week. Help me. And I went,
You're like, okay.
But I actually really enjoyed it. I was like, this is so fun. I had so much fun just giving you little tips and helping you with this. Oh, do this, not that. And so those two things kind of converged. And I went, okay, I think I should just start an account from this. Like, I think that would be fun. And to this day, that is what I enjoy most about our Instagram account or social media, is just helping people really get the most out of their Disney trips. So many people save for years and years and sink thousands of dollars into these trips, and they want to have a memory and they want to have this incredible visit. And I love being able to help them do that, whether that's through the tips that we share or some of the people that I end up in conversation with. I absolutely love that part of it, and it really is the heart behind what we do.
That's incredible. I didn't know so much of that, Kellie. I love that.
Yeah, I absolutely love that. Well, now you are a parent. Now, how old is your son?
He just turned 14, so he's a freshman in high school.
Wow. So you've been with him to Disneyland during all the different stages, baby,
All the
toddler,
stages.
child, now teen.
Wow.
Now you have a teenager at Disneyland. So now, as a parent, what's been your experience at Disneyland and going to the parks? I know that's a really big question because you have been with your son with all the different stages. But what would you say has been your experience?
I think for us, for our family, one of our best reasons to continue to have passes, to continue to visit all the time, is that it just creates these amazing family moments. Everybody's kind of keyed in together. Nobody's looking at their phone or doing something else or distracted. We're having this time together as a family, or even a special time, as a mom with her kid, where I'm able to really kind of, when you walk through the gates of Disneyland, it just kind of feels like everywhere else ceased to exist, even as someone who goes all the time. And so to be able to have like the whole world disappear and focus in on my kid or my family or my husband, I just think there's something special about that. And so I think that's been the most valuable part of it for us. And I think, like you said, Bridget, over the years, it's evolved, right? Because we've been going since he was a baby. And so from like the beginnings of figuring out the baby care centers and how to deal with my stroller and what to do with this, to now where it's figuring out like, oh, how long do I let him go himself to Disneyland, and like how much cash does he really need? Like we done it all.
That's incredible. And that's so beautifully said, Kelly. I love that. It really is a place for it's just family memories and family magic together. And I love that. And you really have experienced like the full spectrum.
Right? All of it.
Yeah.
Now, does your son still like going as much as he did when he was a toddler? Like, has he changed like his, Disney, I guess, Disneyland perspective?
A little. I would say something about Uriah, my son, is that he is like a creature of habit. So if you don't make him, there was a span for probably 2 years where the only thing we did was we got to go to Star Tours first. Like that's a non-negotiable. I think what I learned for him is, first of all, when you visit as a pass holder, you're not often going for the full day. And so if you're only there for a few hours, as you guys know, it's really easy to always be doing something different. It's not the same. You're not doing the same old thing every time. And so the visit feels different. For him, as he got older, what we started to learn is about every other week is good for him. If I bring him more than every other week, he starts to be like, I don't know. Every other week is great. There's always something new. At this stage and age, he's very much about like, what are we going to eat? Who are we going to see? What's going to be there? What did you want me to try? And he's also he has learned that he can kind of get a lot of what he wants simply by saying like, hey mom, didn't you want to make a video about that? I would try that. If you wanted me to try that ice cream for a video, I'll do it. You gotta buy it, right?
Oh my gosh, he is working it.
Smart kid you got there.
I'm real smart about that.
That's hilarious. Oh my gosh.
I love that.
Kelly, what would be one of like your best like hack that you would share with a Disney parent? Like let's say a friend came to you and was like, I need like your best hack to go to the park today. What would you give them?
Okay, it depends on the age. I think we hear a lot about hacks, or at least I do. What my feed is full of is hacks for young kids, right? I don't see as many for like a tween, like preteen, all of that. So I think I would say in that age group that we've been in the last few years, one of the things I've really enjoyed doing is making sure I always have quarters and cash, because there are a lot of fun little machines all around Disneyland that still take quarters. Like, let's see what that one does. What if you put it in that little Pinocchio thing in the Candy Palace? Or what if you, the shooting gallery, like there's all sorts of fun little things like that.
Yeah.
And it's fun to have that on hand. I'd also say the cash, one of the things we've loved over the last few years as he's been, 9, 10, 11, all the way up to 14, is giving him a little bit of independence, depending on what you're comfortable with. Of like, hey, you want popcorn? Here's a $5 bill. Here's a $10 bill. Like, I'm going to stay over here. Why don't you just go do that? I think for him, that has been a fun part of Disneyland, is gaining some of that independence, even sometimes earlier than what I was giving him outside of Disneyland, because it feels like such a safe environment, right? I can see him here from this bench on Main Street. I can see him walk down to the hub and get a churro and walk back, and he feels like $1,000,000, right?
Yeah.
Like, he's a big kid who just did this. And I think those are two very small things that have really made a difference for us in the parks in terms of his enjoyment of it and having a lot of fun, special memories. Or not, like, where it's turned into even like, no, mom, I got that. I'll go get the popcorn. Like, where's the cash? I'll go get it. Which is fun, which is a lot of fun. As silly as a hack as that seems, I think for the older crowd, thinking about how they can have an independent experience at Disneyland is a really cool memory.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
My middle still talks about, Bridget was with me. We were sitting in Red's Garden there in DCA in Cars Land, and the line for Luigi's was nothing. There was no line. So she, I let her go off by herself, and she got in line, rode the ride 3 times in a row, and she came back feeling like, you saw $1,000,000. I did, I was all by myself. I did the rides at Disneyland by myself, and she just loved it.
Yeah, that's so cute. It's so cute, actually watching your child grow up at Disneyland.
Yeah.
We're so lucky. We're so lucky to be able to have those memories.
Yes.
What would you say now? What is your biggest Disney parent oops, Kelly?
I don't make any mistakes, Bridget.
Of course not. Of course not.
We know none of us
I
do.
gotta say,
Of course not.
I gotta say, probably my biggest oops was when Uriah finally hit the height to be able to do some of the bigger rides. So he was finally tall enough to do the Matterhorn. I had not done it in years because I was here with my kid that wasn't tall enough, whatever. I'm like, okay. And he was so excited. He wanted to do it. I had this like adorable video of him in the car on the way that's like, what are we going to do today? And he's like, the Matterhorn in his little voice. Okay, I forgot about the Matterhorn. And the whole opening sequence that I even think as an adult, the second we got on it, I was like, oh no. Oh,
Like
no,
where you're
I
going in the dark?
forgot. It's dark and he's like breathing heavy and you hear
Yeah.
the Yeti like growling. And I was like, this is terrible. And my kid screamed his head off the entire time, said never again. And I really think that was the beginning of the end. I'm like, no, I don't do roller coasters. I don't do it. Like,
Does he
to
still
this
not
day,
to this
it's
day?
still like a tough, like, he's a scaredy cat about a lot of stuff. I think it scarred him. And I think a lot of parents make that mistake where sometimes you have kind of a fond nostalgic memory of something. Like
Yeah.
you don't totally realize what that feels like to a 5-year-old, 6-year-old,
Right.
8-year-old. And
Yeah.
oh man, I really screwed this one up. I would say that, honestly, to this day, I regret it because I wonder if my kid would have been braver trying other rides. And not for the time I was just so gung-ho about going to the Matterhorn with no clue what I was getting into.
Maybe next time you'd have to like write it first to like remember.
Right?
And then
Well,
choose
I
it.
just thought about it, you know? Like, okay,
Yeah.
let me think about what's happening here.
Oh, that's so funny.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it is like you always, want to like look back and like, oh, I wish I would have done this differently or this differently.
Yeah.
But
Right.
yeah. Plus, I mean, at least now that, he doesn't really like enjoying going on that ride, now your back doesn't have to break every time
I'm
you go
not
to
sad about
Disneyland.
that. I'm just gonna be honest.
Exactly.
I
Not
love the
sad about that.
Matterhorn.
There's a
Let's
few
give the
other
Matterhorn
ones
some
that bum me out
credit.
that he
It's
won't
good.
try yet. Like we sort of have a process. We always have what we call his challenge ride. Like, what's your current, like, okay, I'm working my way up to like thinking about this one. We're watching it on YouTube. We're talking about what it's like. Like, okay, maybe I'll try it. And his pattern always does seem to be, okay, finally I'll try it. I'm a little freaked out the first time, but I kind of liked it. So then maybe I'll do it again another time. And then eventually he's asking for that ride. Like, eventually
Yeah.
every time we go down, can we go on Indiana Jones? Yeah, sure. Right now we're in Big Thunder Mountain. Big Thunder Mountain is stressful. We've done it. We'll do it. We really only kind of want to do it with Dad. Like, okay.
Yeah.
But we're getting there. I'm trying to figure out what the next one will be because I feel like then that's kind of a jump in
Yeah.
thrill level.
Yeah.
But we've always got something in process like that, which is fun. But like, I wonder if we would have even had to do that process if I hadn't
Yeah.
in the first place.
But
But
what
that's okay.
Yeah, what a great like life lesson too. Like, like if something scares you to like slowly work your way into it and
Yeah.
slowly gather the
Right.
confidence or whatever. So
Yeah.
you learn life lessons at Disney too.
I totally
Me too.
agree. I
Yeah.
totally agree. So now, Kelly, as you know, we're in this like bit of a series about navigating lines at Disneyland, which of course for anyone that's always such a big subject. And your page is so focused on Disneyland hacks and those type of like really good tips and tricks for things like navigating lines. So what is your biggest secret to skip a particular line in the parks? Like what's your recommendation? What's your secret?
Okay, first of all, I think it's a big general concept to think about at Disneyland is one of the best ways to avoid crowds in general is you kind of have to think about not doing what everyone else is doing. If everyone else is going to eat lunch between 11:30 and 12:30, do it before or after. Like if everyone else is going to go to Starbucks first when they get it, do it later. Like trying to go where the crowds aren't, I think is really important in that whole conversation, which means sometimes you got to do a little bit of research or a little bit of thinking. Lines in general, I think the biggest way to do that, and it's no big secret, is rope dropping. I really do. It's rope dropping second to late night, again, because you're doing something that the crowds aren't doing. Right? The average person visiting Disneyland is, I'm on vacation, let's sleep in and roll in around 10 o'clock. Like, you're doing something everyone else isn't willing to do. Same with if you push to like a late night, last 2 hours of the park. Those tend to be the best times. And that's not a secret. A lot of people who are Disney people know that. But honestly, when we these days are planning on going on rides, that's the only time we generally do it.
Okay.
Like we're not going to go in the middle of the day. That isn't something we do and plan to go on rides because we know the lines are going to be longer and we're just not interested in that, you know? So it's no big secret, but that's certainly my biggest strategy.
When you rope drop at Disneyland or DCA, what's the first ride that you're tackling?
That's such a preference question, right? I have what I think is the best way to do it. I'm not
Yeah.
I love rope dropping Tomorrowland. The reason I love that is because just like I said, going opposite where crowds are going, most people who are like that type of person for Tomorrowland, or they like Star Wars, or they like feature, they're all going to Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah.
Like they're all going the other way. And so when you rope drop Tomorrowland, you can get through almost every ride. You can for certain get through every ride in Tomorrowland in 2 hours. Done. Easy.
Okay.
Usually it's closer to like an hour and 20 minutes. There's just nobody in Tomorrowland these days because they're all headed to Galaxy's Edge. They're all headed to Rise of the Resistance, Smuggler's Run, all of that. So I love that. I feel like you can get a whole chunk of the park knocked out so quickly. And there's something about that thrill of just like, we just did all these rides that didn't wait. There's such a thrill walking into Star Tours at rope drop and there's literally not another human being.
Yeah.
And you're just running through the line. Like it's fun, you know?
It is.
So that's generally, if I was planning a day, if I'm bringing somebody to Disneyland and we're doing the day, I would say, hey, let's go to Tomorrowland and do that. That's usually my first pick.
I love that.
And what about DCA?
DCA, I generally like to do Guardians first.
Okay.
Again, I think there's like a lot of preference involved in all of these, right?
Sure.
What's important to you,
course,
go
yeah.
there, you know?
That's not my preference, but
generally I like to do Guardians first, get some of that Avengers Campus stuff done. Otherwise, I do love Pixar Pier in the mornings. It's, I would say, similar to Tomorrowland. Pixar Pier, a lot of people are going Guardians, they're going Radiator Springs, they're going that way. And so Pixar Pier tends to be very quiet in the mornings. It's very easy to just go from ride to ride and not ever wait in line. Especially Toy Story Midway Mania, that line does tend to get long pretty early. So if you can get there early and avoid that, and you've done all of Pixar Pier, and like you're really doing well at that point in terms of your morning.
And we've actually done that area too. And then we've gone to Goofy Sky School. And that one, like we've done this multiple mornings. We can go on it and literally stay on for like 3 rides. They like don't like, they're like, if you want to keep going, just keep going. Like, well, all right. I mean, I'm like screaming, you know, but my kids are loving it.
I don't know how many times in a row I could do Goofy Sky School, but
No.
I've done it 3. 3 times in a row was my max.
and survived, which is impressive.
Yes, I did survive.
Oh my gosh.
Kelly, question for you. As a local who goes to the parks very often, are you somebody like, are you a fan of lightning lanes in the sense like, do you purchase it for your family or do you think it's a good thing? Like, what are your thoughts on lightning lanes as a local who goes often?
In general, we don't generally purchase them. We're there way too often to do that.
Yeah,
And we're not independently wealthy. We won't be buying line lens every time. But for a special occasion, or if we have friends visiting, we just, as a local, don't need to. If there's a line for that ride, we're just going to go, yeah, we won't do it. We'll skip it. We'll do it next time or whatever, right? I will say, if someone is visiting, I think lightning lanes are the best way to do it. I think we are kind of programmed, or at least I know I am, to sort of decline the upgrade. Like anyway, like, oh no, I don't need that. Oh no, thanks, I'm good. I don't need that extra thing. I don't pay for that. At Disneyland, I think if you're coming on a trip to visit the parks and you've already invested a lot of money in this trip, and then you're declining, even you have a large family, we're talking $200 after you just spent $3,000 or whatever, you know, or more. It will significantly improve your trip.
Right.
Significantly. Like, don't come all this way and then just don't do that part. I will buy them, like I said, like special occasion. If we have somebody visiting and we're doing a fun day, absolutely. We love them. I think it's great. I think it's well worth the money.
Right. And I actually agree 100%. We do it for special occasions as well.
Yeah, same. Okay, now I have a curious question, Kelly. What is the one line that you don't mind waiting 2 hours in, I guess?
Like you would be like, oh, it's 2 hours, we got this. Like, I love that. I'll totally do it.
None. I will wait 2 hours for a ride. I will tell you this, though. Okay, I would not, like it, well, okay. I would not wait too long. I won't even wait if it's longer than like 30 minutes, I'm like, yeah, good. Uh, I think a good comparison to put me in is like, okay, Disney World, where I don't get to do every ride. There are some that I would wait longer for. But I will tell you this. What I will wait 2 hours for is I have absolutely no problem camping out for like a parade, fireworks, a show. Like I will be the first one to like bring my blanket and my book, my whatever, and just not a problem. Those are the things that generally I actually sometimes enjoy that. Like, let's make a thing of it. Let's bring a picnic, do this or that. I am down for that anytime. I don't necessarily know that that is always worth it for like the average Disneyland guest, right? That's not the best way to maximize your time or get your money's worth. But it is the only thing I'm willing to wait like that for.
Yeah. I love that. That's a great answer.
Same. I actually enjoy waiting for a parade. I do. Like, I just like, I like the vibe. I like the buzz. Like, you know, sometimes the characters will come down. I love seeing the cast members. Like, I don't know. I like waiting for parades.
Yeah.
But the anticipation is just, it's exciting. It's fun. It's an event in itself, you know?
It is.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. So now are you ready for some lightning round questions?
Sure.
I actually almost said lightning lane questions, but okay, lightning round questions. Okay, so I'll go first, and then Lindsay, then you go next. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So, what's your favorite park, Kelly?
Favorite park? California Adventure.
Girl really? After my own heart. Oh,
I just think, especially around the holidays, DCA does the holidays better. Like. So sue me, like, but the decorations better, the food's better, the entertainment is better in general. Like, I think California Adventure is a lot more fun. The vibes are way more exciting.
Well, that kind of leans into our next question, which is favorite Disney holiday.
Oh, well, Christmas. That's like not even that. Christmas at Disneyland and Christmas at California Adventure is just the best. There's nothing like it.
It really is. It really is. Okay, so now what's your favorite Disney food? Now that's
favorite Disney food, whatever is in front of me right now. I love a good, that fluffernutter churro is like one of my,
that's a good one.
It is not peanut butter and chocolate and marshmallow. Like that's one of the best. Clearly we love a good cream cheese pretzel. Anybody that follows us knows that my kid's obsessed with them. And I also love anything with birria in it. Any of those birria tacos, sandwiches, the ramen, any of it. I'm a sucker for any of that.
Nice.
Oh, same.
I was going to say same for Bridget. Yeah. Not for me, but same for Bridget.
Yeah.
Favorite ride?
Jungle Cruise.
Ooh. Yay. Good one.
I just love the nostalgia of it. Contrary to my whole DCA there's lots. The nostalgia of the Jungle Cruise just cannot be beat.
I just love the jokes. I mean, sometimes
you get some
real good ones.
Right.
I do too.
Okay, so now what's your favorite character?
I really love Merida. I love Mulan. Apparently I have a type. Those are probably two of my favorites. I do love Goofy.
Yeah.
I think in the parks, I wouldn't say this like blanket statement, but in the parks, I absolutely love interacting with Pluto.
Oh,
Pluto is just so fun and playful, and that's not one that would occur to me if you're like, hey, favorite Disney character.
Right.
But if I'm thinking of like what characters I like meeting in the parks, Pluto is always such a fun time.
Yeah.
He is. That's very true.
Yeah.
He is.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What is one of your Disney toxic traits?
Toxic traits. Maybe it's the fact that I refuse to wait in line.
Or we could say Disney hot takes, like a hot take.
Disney hot take, toxic trait. I also refuse to use a paper straw.
Okay. Like so many.
I bring that a paper straw just takes all the joy out of meandering around the parks with your drink, whether it's a coffee or a cocktail or whatever. Like, there are a lot of other options than paper. I will bring my own straw, whether that is a reusable straw or a plastic straw or whatever. Like, I don't do paper straws. So maybe that's my great hot take.
Oh, I love that.
I like that one. I like that one. I haven't brought a straw to Disneyland yet, but I have seen a lot of people recently doing so, and now I think I need to try it. I'm gonna try it the next time.
Okay, we may or may not have a straw drawer in our house now.
We have one.
I bought a bunch, and then they're just weirdly floating around different drawers in your kitchen and things. And what do you do with this? And then when we built like a new kind of side thing in our dining room. I was like, this little drawer here fits straws perfectly. This is a straw drawer. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, why are we? Nope, don't put anything else in there. Nothing else goes in there. That's the straw drawer. You've got to be kidding me. But we do.
I love that. Okay, then let's see how I like it, because maybe I'll have a straw drawer soon. That's awesome. I love that. Okay, so now what's the one thing you think a Disneyland guest should know?
If I had one thing, it's that you cannot do it all. Absolutely cannot. And the quickest way to ruin a Disneyland trip is to try to do it all. Pick your priorities and schedule even the rest time, the downtime, be ready to just sit for a little bit and relax, because that tends to actually be where a lot of those magical moments and memories happen, and the spontaneous and the unplanned, and those don't happen if you're hustling from thing to thing. There's absolutely a place for that. Clearly, I'm a big fan of the planning and the figuring out and the scheduling and all of that, but don't forget to take those moments to slow down. You did not plan this trip. You did not save up all your money for this trip just so you could say you conquered everything. Ultimately, what you're looking for is this magical memory with people that you love. And achieve that, you have won the trip. You have had a successful trip, and that doesn't come in the hustle. It just doesn't.
Oh, that's so beautifully said, Kelly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I believe it, man. I really do.
Yeah.
I love that so much.
Yeah,
Oh my
absolutely.
goodness. Well, Kelly, I don't think we can thank you enough for all of your insight and tips and tricks. You have been incredible and our first guest on season 2. So thank you so much for joining us and the Magical Moms podcast. Thanks to you guys for listening. And if you're watching on YouTube, thank you so much for watching there. If you want to stay connected with us in between episodes, make sure to join our Patreon fam. You can go to patreon.com and search Magical Moms podcast, or we'll have the link for you down in the show notes. And in there, you can connect with us in a private Facebook group. And we offer lots of tips and tricks in there as well. And until next time, we'll see
Kelly.
you. Oh, Kelly,
Kelly,
we
you
go.
have to join us. You have to
Next
join us.
time, we'll see you
We'll
real
see you
soon.
real
Okay,
soon.
ready?
Okay.
So
Okay.
until next time, we'll see you.
We'll see you
real
soon.
Woo!
I did it. Thanks, guys.
Hey, Kelly.